to be uncomfortable. When we get into the cleanup phase, in Integral Zen, it's wake up, grow up, and clean up. And only then can you show up. When you get into the cleanup phase, where you're looking at the parts of yourself that you've disowned, and you're digging into the trauma of being civilized by loving parents, or absent parents, or whatever kind of parents you had, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Guaranteed. And you might as well be willing, because you're going to be uncomfortable anyway.
Gotta be uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's not so bad being uncomfortable. Not if it's a choice. It's a little more, it's worse to be uncomfortable without choosing to be uncomfortable. Because you're fighting it. And what we fight, we make stronger. So we fight the being uncomfortable, and it makes us more uncomfortable. God, she has such a sense of humor, doesn't she? There's an old story. It was made into a poem by Rumi, Zen Master Rumi. The poem is called The Question. I like the story better that the poem came out of, so I'll tell you the story. Rumi was wandering in the desert, and he came upon an oasis. And he noticed that there was a spring running into a clear pool. And over here there was a fire burning, and people were coming and going out of the oasis. And so he sat down and he just watched. And he looked over at the clear pool. And people would come out of the desert, their eyes would get this big, and they'd go right for the pool. And they'd jump in the pool. And lo and behold, their heads would pop out in the fire. That's odd. And then he noticed that some people would come out of the desert and they would go right to the fire. And they would jump in the fire. And to his amazement, their heads would pop out in the cool pool. God, again, she has such a sense of humor, doesn't she? Not funny, huh? Not yet. Things are not as they seem, nor are they any different. This willingness to be uncomfortable and jump right into the fire. The Gospel of St. Thomas, the mystical branch of Christianity, is the Gnostics. The Gnostics that were died away and have been brought back by mystics like Thomas Merton, Father Thomas Keating, Anthony de Mello. The Gospel of St. Thomas out of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Jesus said, if you bring forth what is inside you, what you bring forth will save you. If you don't bring forth what is inside you, what you don't bring forth will destroy you. Have you seen that? Jump into the fire. Be willing to be uncomfortable. And see what a difference it makes for yourself.